Love in Deepspace is perhaps one of the wackiest and silliest games I've ever played in my life. That being said, I had a blast playing this game. I think it's perhaps one of the best gacha games to ever existed. Lads has been dominating the gacha revenue charts recently for the last few months now. And if you were to say that its success was because of its gameplay, then you wouldn't be too far off. Lads is a gacha otome game. Otome games are centered around a woman protagonist having to romance male characters. The main demographic is, of course, women, but I would say even men should play this game because, well, I'll explain in just a second, and trust me, I think every guy should play this game regardless. I actually first heard about this game when my sister wanted to play it last year when it first came out. She was desperately trying to delete her cat photos and videos off her phone to make room for this game, and I thought it would be a silly little fad that she'd play for like a little bit and she would stop after like a week or so, but she's still ongoing. She really loves this game apparently. For many years now, gacha gamers were convinced that you need to have hot women to sell your games and make money. But Lads proves that wrong because there is a whole market of women out there who want to play these gacha otome games, and if you're not tapping into that market, then you're missing out on a lot of money. If this gacha gaming chart is real, then this shows that Lads is rivaling Pokemon at one point. Pokemon! During the start of Lads, we only had 3 guys to romance. Xavier, a mysterious hunter who hunts down creepy alien creatures, known for also being a sleepy cutie pie. Zane's a aloof doctor who takes care of your medical needs and also childhood friend. He's kind of like the Tsundere character of the game. He's tough on the outside, but he really does care about you. And Raphael, the eccentric artist who's also a mermaid. Yeah, you heard me, he's a mermaid too. However, as time went on, we have 2 new characters that you can romance on top of the 3 that we already have. Silas is that CEO daddy type who will call you kitten. If you ever wanted to experience falling in love with a rich guy, then this is that kind of romance. 50 Shades of Grey, kind of. And then you have Caleb, the latest character, who is the childhood best friend like Zane. He's really good at teasing you, and not gonna lie, he does kind of get me a bit sweating sometimes. He's got a way with words, he's got a lot of riz, what can I say? Although it seems as if you should romance one guy, you can actually swap and romance whoever you want, whenever you want. There is no right or wrong choice when picking a guy you like, so just pick whoever really responds to you the best. Want to live a fantasy romance dating a doctor? Well then pick Zane. Want to be called kitten? Then pick Daddy Silas. I'm not joking, he actually will call you like kitten. I've heard that happen to a few people before. But hey, you know what? I'm not judging, to each their own. If you like being called kitten, go for it. Personally, if somebody called me kitten, I think I kind of melt too, so I kind of get that. Don't ask me which one is my favorite because it's a really hard choice to pick anyone who's better than Raphael. If you think playing claw machines, dress up with the guys, or rubbing on their chest is the peak of the gameplay, well, yeah, that's pretty much the peak of the gameplay, honestly. But before you go, oh my god, this game is all about dating guys, what makes it so exciting? Well, yeah, okay, that is the main attraction of the game, but there is a bit of combat involved. So there is a bit of something out there for the guys who want to go, well, I don't want to date a boy. The combat is contained within stages, so no open world type of gameplay, no Genshin, no Wuthering Waves type stuff. You can find some of the combat within the story stages, supply, and other combat-focused one like the trials. It has some perfect dodge mechanics, cool skill animations, and ultimates that you can pull off as well. Frankly, it's really cool, I'm not gonna lie, it can be very fun to play. You use your main character girl alongside with the boy of your choosing and get to killing. The weapons of the game are called memories, and you level them up to get stronger. This, by the way, is what you'll be pulling for in the game. There's also a choice of using a sword, gun, claymore, or staff for your main character depending on your playstyle that you want to use. In the beginning, it doesn't really matter what weapon you want to choose, just really pick whatever speaks to you. Later on though, you do want to pick one that really goes well with your memories. And if you're feeling lazy, don't worry, because I feel that as well. There's also auto battle in the game. And there's absolutely no shame if you want to just hit auto battle, don't feel like playing, and just skip to wanting to pet your boys. I understand that completely. There's also a roguelike game mode with a story associated with it, and overall, the fights in the game do get challenging as you keep progressing, and I love that. It's not just some side gimmick made to stand out to make it be like, oh wow, we're not like other otome game guys. Like, I really do like the effort put into it. Okay, although we do have a bit of combat in the game, the real gameplay is in dating the boys. Guys, it's first and foremost an otome game. What did you expect? Your main character has a nice selection of customization options. You can choose the hair, skin color, and yes, you can go very dark if you wanted to, a nice option. You can also change your voice's pitch. Later on, you can unlock outfits for your character, so that way you can go into the photo booth and look all nice and pretty. You can play claw machine games with the boys, and personally, I like showing them up and showing them how it's done because they suck at it sometimes. You can text the guys and interact with them on fake Twitter, which is a little bit better than the real Twitter, honestly. The real one's a bit toxic sometimes. Okay, not sometimes, a lot of times. It's actually kind of funny, even though this game is targeted towards women, I've heard that there's people who weren't even attracted to men who still want to play this game. Something about how the guys are just that good looking and have a bit of charm to them. They also got some clothing of the guys that you can put on, even shirtless options. Has this what my little sister been playing this whole time? I had a great time watching the story and getting into it. It's got some mystery, humor, and overall just good fun. Also, this is a tough order to ask, but can I, like, date Commander Jenna? She's really pretty and beautiful and tough, and please, Infold, please. Can we just get a lads version for the guys? Like, trust me, I like some romance too. I want this as well, guys, not just the women. If you wanted to play lads for the story and combat alone, it is quite engaging enough. And once again, I do know the main attraction for this game is women. I do believe some guys should play this game as well. Why should men play a game oriented towards women? That's weird. I get it, it does sound weird. But this game really does teach you a few things. Guys, I promise you, if you sit down and listen to Raphael talk, you'll learn that this guy has a lot of charm to him. If you need some kind of model on how to talk to women, these guys do a pretty good job of being a blueprint for you. And before you get there, I know, these guys in-game are beautiful, sculpted works of art that most of us guys in real life have no chance of ever looking like. But trust me when I say this, but being charming and knowing how to talk to people, like actively listening and responding, goes a long way more so than just having to look good. That and having good hygiene, trust me, if you have those things on lockdown, you'll be set for life. And if you accept the fact that not every single woman in the world will like you, then you're set. It's a secret that most guys don't want to hear, but when you come to terms with it, you'll be happier, trust me. But for the love of God, please play lads or really any other game in the world that you want to play because you want to. Don't get into any specific hobbies just because you think you'll find a partner from it or it'll make you more appealing. That's just weird and some free life advice for really just about anybody out there. Alright, so because it's a gacha game, let's talk about the pulls. It can be tough to get pulls for the game. You do have to actually engage with the content in-game to get pulls, so daily logins may not be able to save you. We have a standard banner and some limited special ones. For the most part, save your currency for the limited ones because they can be typically stronger than most standard cards. And also, they look cooler for the most part. There's some special ones out there we'll get into in just a second. From what I learned from veteran players, for the most part, if you learn how to build teams and play the game, you can actually clear most content with even the cheapest units, so 3 or 4 stars will carry you if you learn how to play. When it comes to deciding which banners to pull on, pull for really whatever seems fun to you. Outside of myths, you're basically pulling for characters you like, their dialogue, and the cutscenes that you can view from it. And some of the cutscenes can go crazy. If you ever have the chance, look up the Valentine's Day banner. Just make sure when you watch it, you're not around your family, or else you'll be pretty embarrassed if you put it on. But what are myth cards? Well, the myth cards are special ones that you ideally want to save up your pulls for. Myths tell the story of an alternate universe for the characters within them. There are apparently some standard ones, but for the most part, the best ones are limited. And they are quite powerful, like they are the strongest cards that you could get for a character. And because the limited ones are, well, of course, limited, you want to make sure you have enough pulls when they come by, or else you might cry when you miss out on them when they come around. So your best bet in this game is to pick one guy you really like, get their myth card whenever it drops, so set aside some pulls for them. Don't, blow off all your pulls on a banner. Trust me, I know it's tempting, but you really want to save up a lot in this game, because the pull economy in this game can be kind of rough. Going for all 5 characters and a new banner is going to be very expensive, but settling for maybe 1 or 2 guys that you really like will be a bit more affordable and realistic for most free-to-play players. The pull currency, or diamonds in this game, you get by basically engaging with most of the game's content. But I heard from longtime players that it does get a bit rough to farm for diamonds because once you exhausted most of the content in the game that it has to offer, it will be harder to get more diamonds, so be ready for that when you're further ahead in the game. But of course, if you're a new player just joining in, you'll have a lot more opportunities to get more diamonds, and also there are events occasionally that you can also get pulls from, so just, be patient and don't use everything on every single banner you see. As with most gacha games, the game needs money, so it's gonna try its hardest to try to strangle you and make you want to pull on these banners and not give you as many pulls. The best thing to do is to overcome that need to pull and just save up or get very lucky, Or lastly, bust out your credit card and just take out a loan because, you know what? We only live a short time on this earth, so why not just spend all of our money on virtual men? I happened to start Lads at the best time possible. They had the spring gacha set and they feature one of the most Barbie-sounding Disney movie songs ever, and it's so cheesy. I love it so much. It's one of the best songs I've ever heard from a gacha game. Like, listen to it. It just sounds like beautiful. Oh. And although I talked highly about this game a lot in this video today so far, I do have a bit of gripes about Lads. Just small ones, okay? Don't get too mad at me. I still like the game overall. I think it's really good. You cannot speedrun the story, and I don't mean like actually speedrunning or skipping the cutscenes. Let's say you're enjoying the story, right? Enraptured by the dialogue and the mystery of what's to come next, and the second you're about to hit that next chapter button, you can't. As a new player, you cannot progress fast enough because the stories are locked behind your player level. In fact, if you're a brand new player out of the gate, some Redditors have already done the math and figured out which levels are gated behind each day. So for example, on day 1, you just cannot go past level 20 at all. On day 2, you can finally get up to day 26, and so on. And while I do understand it's to let players enjoy their time with the story and, you know, take their time with the boys, I am sort of an impatient person and I just want to see what happens next personally. If you don't mind waiting and, you know, taking your time, because this is a gacha game. Most gacha games are meant to be like a quick, you play for a few minutes of a day and then you put it down. This won't be much of an issue for you. But if you want to catch up to all your friends and get up to the story up to the current date, it will take you some days to catch up. So make sure you start logging in every single day, because if you don't, you will be behind and it will really suck. And for my final gripe, the lack of a sex mode. Besides that and maybe polls being kind of rough to get, that's my only gripes of the game. It's overall a pretty fun game. But this game is not free of controversies, and we've had quite a few, and there was a really big one that happened not too long ago that I want to weigh my opinion on. If you were living under a rock, Lads added a period tracker to the game. While it does feel a bit unusual for the game to add a period tracker, it caught a lot of unnecessary negative attention for some odd reason. And it's as it sounds, the game can track your periods. It's a completely optional feature that you can choose to partake in or not, up to you. But so many non-Lad players weighed in on this, and they were like saying how weird it was and how this game, because it had a period tracker, it was a gooner game. And of course, a lot of the opinions came from a lot of guys who sadly don't play the game and just wanted to assume because it had this, it was bad. My honest to God take on this is that if you're not a woman, just shut up. I don't know why it became such a contention of like, wow, this game is a gooner game because these guys know your period trackers. It's not even that big of a deal. Let's be honest here, these things track periods better than most boyfriends anyways, so I have to give the game a point there. The most that will happen is that the guys in-game will acknowledge your period and give you some words of encouragement. Now, if only the game gives you a little bit of diamonds when you go through it, that just makes life a lot better. Also, this incident of a Chinese rapper trying to make a diss track on Lads, they were hit with a cease and desist letter from Lads themselves, but basically he was saying some stuff about how the game was poisoning their youth with their otome games. Which is kind of interesting. I don't know why this specific person wanted to attack Lads for this when we've had so many other games that were actually on the higher level of the gooner side that were poisoning the youth for the longest time and whatnot. I'm talking about you, Brown Dust 2. But honestly, both controversies are pretty stupid. The rapper one's smaller than the other one, didn't catch much attention, but overall, I would say this game as a whole is still pretty fun regardless of these stupid controversies that happen. To wrap up this video, I'm gonna say Lads is a cute game, I'm not gonna lie. I can't help but smile a tad bit when playing the game because of its music and romantic aspects. Also, I'm a sucker for cute love stories. It just kind of strikes a chord with me for some reason. I don't know, I like it, I guess. I'm not gay as far as I know, but I would say that Lads is a really fun game. It's really cute, and if you have never played this game before, man or woman, I say give it a shot. Besides, if we throw enough money towards this game and make it popular enough, who knows if Info will make a man version of this game, you know, to make a woman romance game. I would like to do that. I know that we already have a lot of games out there that feature a lot of hot women in gacha games, but you know, I'd like a nice romantic game to, you know, take girls out on dates on because it's cute and I just like that stuff a lot. Lads is a great game and I will honestly be keeping up with this game for a little bit. Now, if you excuse me, I have a cat card game to play with Raphael, so thank you for watching.